The situation in Venezuela is this. First, we want to know, and she told me to tell it to you, to say to you, we don't share what the ambassador of United Nations of Venezuela said about the drugs in Venezuela, that we didn't have any drug problem. That's not true. Maybe it could be, I know, I suppose 40 years, 30 years ago, but in this town, in this moment, is, I think, the first public problem we have in Venezuela. The first one.
Number one.
Yeah, the number one. Okay. Why we said that? Because the problems, the healthy problems, has increased. You know, cardiac problems, any other disease, SIDA, AIDS, the AIDS, hepatitis C, and the other things you can catch with sharing needles, with promiscuity, you know. The second thing, and I think is the worst, is the involvement of the accidents, robberies, you know, all the crime that is mixed up with the drugs. I think in Venezuela, the 80% of the violence has in the background the drug. Of course, that's a business, and we have very nearly, of course, Colombia. And all the drugs, we don't produce really drugs, but we are the pathway to other countries, especially United States. So, in Venezuela, 30 years ago, the only drug the people used was marijuana and a little bit cocaine. In the high extract, cocaine. In the other extract, poor people, a little marijuana, not too much. But in these days, the use is different. In the 80s, 70s, 80s, started to use the bazuco. I don't know if you know bazuco. Bazuco is a residual of the cocaine, very impure. Later, it was cocaine, but in the high class, the poor class, bazuco, and now the poor are taking crack. Regular use of crack is about between 20 or 40, 50 rocks. I don't know how you say it's the same, rocks. Piedras, we call it piedra, unities of crack. They put it together in a day. They can use between 20 to 50. Más o menos 20 a 50 piedras. No se puede consumir. Yeah. Well, it could be 100. It's terrible. You know, with the crack in 1 year of use, regular use, you have your head blow up. Really. And recently, I mean, not more than 3-4 years, the heroin is a big problem. It's going to be a great problem, and they are giving it free in the poor villages, so you don't have to pay to take heroin. They are getting in the use to the people to get the use, and created the addiction. I mean, that's marketing, I think. So this is what's happening in Venezuela in this moment. Venezuela has had a lot of organisms to go against the use of drugs and the traffic. It used to be, the first one I remember was Conakry. Conakry. And in the justice and relationships, interior relationships used to have an office for these problems. later was this Conaquic, and now is the ONA. ONA is the National Organization Against Drugs. ONA, Organización Nacional, Oficina Nacional Antidrogas, is the name in Spanish, ONA. ONA. They started like an independent office that they would going to have in their hands all the things about drugs in Venezuela. You know, the fight against the narco traffic, rehabilitation, treatments, everything. And with their own money, resources, you know? But now, in this year, in the beginning of this year, they took it out, and still is the owner, but it depends of another office, another minister. So they reduce the money to treat all this business about drugs. When you want to do something about drugs in Venezuela, you have to go to this office. And they are more focused in the control of the way that people get the drug. You know, the narcos, to fight in the borders, to take the people is trying to pass the drugs to Venezuela, you know, those kind of things. And they don't have, I think, the way I see the things, a good political for rehabilitation and treatments, but they control them too. So this is one of the office. And they have the statistics. They are managed. They are not real, because in Venezuela there are no truly methods to believe the amount of people that is a drug addict.
They don't recognize it.
No, they recognize, but they don't know the numbers, the real numbers. You understand? Okay. So now, to make a real, credible, realistic politics in public health, you have to know the numbers, and any organization have the real numbers. So we in the Psychiatric Society are trying to do an investigation about this. We think we could finish on December to have the real numbers of which is happening in Venezuela with the mental health, including, of course, the drug consumers. With these numbers, we can make really good and credible treatments and rehabilitation for the drug people, because we are going to know exactly what's really happening. And in Venezuela, there are three places you can. If you want to do something about drugs or any other thing about health, you have to go to have the approval of the scientifics, the doctors in Venezuela, of course, the government, and the private people that works in any kind of clinics or institutions, you know. So when you were telling me about to present this Ibogaine in Venezuela, we have to do it in these three ways. Scientific, I can do it because I belong to the maximum organism of psychiatrists in Venezuela. In government, maybe she's not really the big one, but she is very close to people in the government that she can transmit the information. And in private, because in this moment, the health business stuff in Venezuela, the great providers are private. There are public hospitals and public institutions, but they are not working so well. So you have private insurance, and you get the things of healthy things in. So if you can touch these three legs of the problem, you could be successful. For me, in Venezuela, the difficult, the preoccupation, the worries, the concerns I have to take care is about, first, this is a business. If you're going to do something to go against the addiction of any drugs, what happened with the narcos, you know? You are broken their business. No? So I think this is the most important thing you have to touch in Venezuela. And I mean Venezuela, and I'm sure it's in almost all Central and Latin America. The second one for me to touch is the laboratories, because almost all the laboratories are foreign. But there are foreign, you know, from United States, France, England.
The people who provide regular medication.
Yeah.
Regular medicine.
Yeah, the pharmacs, the laboratories make almost all the medicines that we took. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah?
It has to be imported.
Yeah, it's imported. They are almost all imported. A few, now it's changing a little bit because with Chavez,
Chávez quitó la ley esa que tú tienes menos tiempo o la exclusividad de un medicamento, ¿no? Redujo el tiempo.
Sí. Chávez.
Antes era más de 2 años. No, eran 10, ahora es 4 años.
Sí. Now, when a foreign laboratory discover, for example, Viagra, in Venezuela, it used to be they had the exclusivity for 10 years. Now it's changed. Now in 4 years, any other laboratory can make the same pharmac. You understand? So
You can start domestic production.
yeah, okay. That's in Venezuela. I don't know how it's in other countries. But it used to be 10 years. So they had the exclusivity for 10 years. And of course, now the laboratories, they are very rich, of course. And I think they are not going to like a drug that could stop the addiction, not by itself. Instead, is you know, all the things they can sell to the people, like consequences of the drug. The violence in Venezuela makes every now and then, every 10 minutes, you can go to the street and somebody rob you or give you a shot. That means they go to a hospital or a private hospital. You know, you have to pay. It's the winning for the clinic, for the medication they have to take. You know, it's a merry-go-round. That's right. And I think the laboratories won't like this, and they are going to do what I could do to stop this. As they done it in another occasions. And of course the political factors. There is a light, you know, there are some things that are changing in Venezuela, but igual is the same corruption, you know. It's, in Venezuela still is have corruption, no? And the politicals move with the money. And that's a problem, I think. So, these are 3 things that we have to take, we need to make a plan to go against these possible things that could stop us to introduce the Ibogaine. But I think that this is a government that has broken paradigms, and the people is changing, and the people is changing the way the things are looking. So there are only two institutions that we need to approve legally the use of any medication wherever they come from. We don't have to do it in Venezuela. We can take it from another country. They have to pass to the Instituto Nacional de Higiene. They take the Ibogaine, for example. They make the analysis and they approve it if they think it's safe with the right concentration, no contamination, no toxicity, And the second is, and the second and last one is the Ministry of Salubrity. So they are the people that is Sanidad, Ministerio del Poder Popular para la Salud, the Power Popular Minister for Health. Translation.
So first you have like an FDA, and then you have a health.
Yeah, like FDA, that's right. Or INH is the National Health Institute. They get the analysis, and the minister is who, with a record of the hygiene and other proof they ask, give the approbation. If you have this, it's not so difficult, but if you have this, you can use it without any problem. And there's another thing. In Venezuela, it's no problem if a doctor recommended any drug that is not approved in Venezuela. So that's another way to go, to take. Start to using, make the records, and with that record we can get this permission easier. And if we can get to the government, it's more easier too. Would be easier, because he only have in Venezuela now the things really are in this way. If Chavez wants something, it is done. You have all the doors open to do, and so I think could be possible. Of course, we are taking this information. I'm planning. We have a meeting every month. The Psychiatric Society makes a meeting in different parts of Venezuela, only for psychiatrists. I'm going to take this information to Venezuela, and I'm going to show them only to psychiatrists. They really don't know about anything about the Ibogaine. They don't know. Neither me, almost since I came here. So, if we can have the approbation of the psychiatrists, it's easier to go to other instances. And this is my promise. I'm going to take this information. Of course, they are going to start to investigate about this, and they have each one of them is going to take their own decision, of course, but they will know about this. That's what I'm going to do, and she is going to talk with a friend of her. Very close to Chavez. Is one of the advisors, the legal advisors of Chavez. Is in the Congress. The man is doing some of the more critical change of laws in Venezuela. It's very close, very friend of her, and she's going to tell this to him. And well, I don't know if you quieres decir algo. Okay. Oh, yeah. There is another foundation of the treatment and rehabilitation. They have their own personality is the Fundación José Félix Rivas, but it's only for treatment. And I agree, she is very friend, I know him too, but she is the president of that foundation. And I know they will be full open to have practice with the Juvenal Villasmil is the name, doctor, is a psychiatrist. Almost all the government institutions of rehabilitation are managed, the chairman is a psychiatrist. There are others, private or foundation, but you know, they are managed for religion groups, and they don't have studies, and they relapses and relapses.
Un consenso de tratamiento.
We don't have any standard treatment for drugs. I don't know if here you have, you know, hey, when drug people come, you have to do this and this and this. No, we don't have it. In the clinic where she works.
Cualquier que venga por droga primero tiene que desear dejar la droga.
Okay, the first thing in the treatment is that people really want to get away from the drug.
Porque si no, no se debe.
If they don't promise this or don't want this, no treatment is given. The first thing they make an hospitalization, to detoxification. A few pharmacs. Well, it depends of the clinic of the people. Could be Valium, haloperidol, antidepressants. Usually is endovenous. In vein.
Y entonces este paciente va a estar de 15 a 30 días.
This is the
Durante ese tiempo se le hace psicoterapia de apoyo.
15 or 30 days, and later they go to a community center.
Y todas las pruebas necesarias,
Laboratory, resonance.
magnética cerebral. Y después el paciente se sigue un tratamiento con uso de terapia.
And if they don't go to a community center, goes psychotherapy for about a year.
Ha ido bastante bien el tratamiento en muchas ocasiones, pero
Has been good.
Han dado resultados, muchos resultados son heroína.
The less successful is with heroin.
Es el más difícil,
Porque
siempre hay muchas recaídas,
too many relapses.
muchas recaídas, y porque generalmente en las otras drogas ha dado más
In other drugs, she has a better outcome.
Por eso es que nos gustaría trabajar con la que
Yes, we are interested, very interested to work with Ibogaine. It would be easier and shorter the time.
Porque ahora tenemos el problema que está llegando la heroína líquida.
We have the problem, we have liquid heroin.
Y entonces trae más complicaciones para los pacientes.
More complicated.
Y muerte.
And death, of course.
Y bueno, pues todo lo que tú dijiste, aparte de eso, bueno, que le queremos dar las gracias por la invitación, y que bueno, que vamos a estar en contacto, vamos a estudiar y vamos a ver si hacemos un curso para comenzar a trabajar con...
Well, she said we want to thank you, Dana, and thank you all of us. And we are going to study this hardly, and we want to start with this treatment and open the door of all of you, with the government, with us, to prove all of this. And I think because this is a hub, and everything is, I have a feeling, if you do something, truly believing that you are going to do the best and the good things, you have more than half of the way walking. And if it fails, it doesn't matter. You try to do the good thing, and that's important. Well,